Don't forget the deviled eggs. Oh, hi, I'm Kenan. Welcome back to my fast paced series on the hardest digital SAT practice problems. If you haven't seen the first video in this series, I recommend that you watch it first by clicking up there. In this video, we're studying two problems on fractions.
Nobody likes fractions.
It's a lot more exciting than it sounds.
Let's go! Solve your math problems.
Now, tap pause to try problem 1 on your own. As always, we start with my what's the most important word strategy. Luckily for us, this problem has only one sentence, and the only word that catches my eye is equivalent, which is just a $10 way of saying equal. So we're looking for an answer that is equal to the original problem. That's pretty common on the SAT. A lot of times when you see a problem like this, you don't even have to read the instructions. You just do the math that your eyeballs recognize. Well, this problem is a fraction problem. So let me give you a little Dadvice. Over the years, I've learned that fraction problems always start in the bottom. It's like a ladder. You start in the bottom. I've also learned when I see an x squared, it's another factoring problem. So, how can you factor the bottom? That's a special one because it's missing the middle term. It's known as the difference of two squares. So, we need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 25 but add to 0. When there's nothing in the middle, that's why you're going to have to add to 0. The numbers that multiply to negative 25 and add to 0 are positive 5 and negative 5. So it's x plus 5 and x minus 5. The SAT loves the difference of two squares, by the way. So if you haven't memorized it, you should probably write this down. X squared minus y squared can be factored as x plus y times x minus y. For example, x squared minus 36 will be x plus 6 times x minus 6. Here's a word of warning. Sometimes the dream crushing sociopaths at the SAT don't use any numbers. And they even like to change the letters around and use things like u squared minus t squared. Do you know how to factor that? It would be u plus t times u minus t. One last thing that I've learned over the years is that when you have a factoring problem and a fraction problem, you will usually cancel something out. When I say factor, you say cancel. Factor, cancel, factor, cancel. I hope you said cancel. I said it for you just in case you didn't. Anyways, the top is a bit weird, but because we have an x minus 5 as a factor in the bottom, that makes it easier to realize there's a greatest common factor of x minus 5 in the top. So if we were to factor out an x minus 5 from each of those, we would be allowed to cancel the x minus 5 from the top and bottom. Because after you factor, you can cancel. Don't forget to factor and cancel. Finally, we're just left with answer choice C. That problem really isn't too bad if you know what you're doing. So when you're taking the test, try to think of problems that you did for weeks at a time. You probably got used to factor and cancel problems. So it's no surprise they show up on the SAT. If you always start in the bottom of the fraction, that will usually make it easier to figure out how to factor the top. Now, tap pause to try problem 2 on your own. Well, it's another fraction problem. Where do fraction problems start? Always in the bottom. You see the x squared in the bottom? When you see an x squared, what should you think to yourself? It's another factoring problem. So, how do you factor the first denominator? Well, you can take out a greatest common factor of x. How do you factor the second denominator? Take out a y squared, and an x squared minus 4 is left behind. Do you know how to factor x squared minus 4? Well, it's the difference of two squares. Again, so it's x plus 2 times x minus 2. Now that we have the denominators factored, we need to realize that this is a subtraction problem. How do you subtract fractions? Well, if you forgot, you should probably write this down. To subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. So you need to get these denominators to be exactly the same. So you look at the first denominator and say, "Hey, little buddy, what are you missing?" And it probably replies, "I'm missing a y squared and an x minus 2." Now look at the second denominator and ask, "Hey, little buddy, what are you missing?" And it probably replies, "Oh my gosh, I'm missing an x." So once you get those two denominators to be exactly the same, it's time to subtract the numerators. However, if you look at the answer choices, it's pretty clear it's not C or D. So look at A and B. Which one of those two has the right denominator? Answer choice A. So we don't even have to do the subtracting. Thanks for watching. If you just got a little smarter, please like and subscribe so you won't miss any videos. And most importantly, improve your SAT score. And don't forget to share with your friends. A link to the hardest problems and the paper practice tests is in the description. I will see you in my next video. In the meantime, please